This is the Ryder and Lisa replay.
Brought to you by Southtown Hyundai. Check out the Southtown Hyundai Advantage at southtownhyundai.ca.
It's just me today.
It's time for Overrated, Underrated with Ryder and Lisa.
As everyone turns off their radio, what am I here for then? All right, I am going to go with something that I think is tremendously underrated, and it is having the glass half full mentality. I didn't know how much I needed to hear this from an Edmonton Oiler, but in his press conference post-game, after the last loss, our second significant losing streak, we're in the middle of it right now, or hopefully at the end of it. Anyway, it's Brendan Perlini, who is just a character guy. He had a big game. He looked really good in the preseason, but hasn't been too much of a factor. You know, he's capitalized on some of the opportunities he's been given, which are limited. Hopefully, we see more of him in the lineup, especially with this attitude. So he was just asked about the losing streak, and he had the most positive take. And compared to the woe is me attitude we've been getting from, everyone else, including us, and especially the fan base, it was really refreshing. And I just think it's an underrated quality to have the wherewithal to look at things with the glass half full. Listen to this post-game interview. Lovely.
I've been on teams where it's lose 6, 7, 8 in a row, and you can win 6, 7, 8 in a row just like that. So, I'm always an optimistic guy and glass half full type of guy, but I really think it's probably, you got we got some of the best players in the world, the best player in the world too, in there. So at any given moment, good things can happen, and you got to keep going. That's life. Things are never going to be, you're going to win every single game. Your life is going to be rainbows and clouds and whatever not, life is ups and downs, ebbs and flows, right? So it's really almost grateful for our group to go through periods like this, because then when we'll get back to winning, it's I like that feeling, I want to keep winning. Maybe before we weren't grateful enough for winning games, and we have to go through something like this to learn and come through it better.
When do you think you might get back to winning?
Next game.
Now, I'm fairly certain that was Mark Spector at the end, who always the pessimist, apparently. After such a beautifully positive speech, when do you think you'll get back? But even his answer to that, next game, was pretty refreshing to hear.
Tell me something good. Brought to you by A&D Tutoring. Wonder, learn, grow. For more info, visit adtutoring.com.
Play 107.
All right, Lisa is out today. We got to call and check in with her. I'm getting her to do one of the Tell Me Something Goods because she loves this segment from home today.
Hello.
Omicron Evans, what's going on?
Don't call me that.
Okay. How are you feeling?
I feel fine. Yesterday afternoon, I had a bit of a sore lower back, and my eyes were really bloodshot. And I was like, something's not right. So, yeah, turns out I have COVID. I have FOMO, though. I'm just sitting here wanting to work.
Yeah, are you listening to the show? I'm just slaying.
Yeah, you're doing good. I mean, get to the point a little quicker on stuff, but other than that...
What?
Just a little rambly.
We've had a few listeners text in saying that, wow, this show is so good without Lisa, this one says.
Is it written by Shayla on the text line? Because I know that's your number, and you just gave it a fake name.
How'd you know that? Rachel said, where's Lisa? I keep trying to fill her voice in my head to rebound off of you.
Awesome.
Yeah, so.
But no, today I feel a little bit fluidy in the chest, and I have a bit of a cough. But other than that, I feel fine.
Okay.
I'm also 3 times Moderna, so boosted up, leveled up.
Atta girl. You've got a good news story for us?
Oh, you actually wanted me to get a story?
Well, yeah, that's when I was like, hey, do you want to do it? Tell me something good.
Oh, I thought you wanted me to send you one, prep it for you.
No, it's fine. Here, I'll just tell you mine, okay?
No, I got one.
Okay, go ahead then.
I can still taste this Toblerone that I'm eating at 6 a.m.
That's it? That's your tell me something good?
That's it. That's all.
All right.
Tell me something good.
Your turn.
Yeah, mine is about a school that figured out how to help kids with stage fright and with social anxiety. They launched a radio station that kids can book into. They can sing, tell hilarious jokes, do like impressions, whatever they want. And they all get turns doing the radio station. And the one rule is you're not allowed to judge other students for what they do. So you would have failed already because you judged me for my radio work.
I'm actually just thinking now about how this is a great idea, but also I do radio and I still have stage fright. So I don't know if it's actually going to work.
Okay, well, either way, that's my story today.
Tell me something good.
All right. Well, I'm going to go back to bed now.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Wanted to talk about failed attempts at romance as we're within a month now of Valentine's Day. So we do this every year, but just wanted to remind you, book that reservation now. You don't want to wait until a week before, or you're going to be having a pan scrambler at Humpty's, you know? Janice says Valentine's Day has been canceled until further notice. This text said, I tried to make things romantic by using a glass of champagne in a sexy way and dipping something in it. It didn't go over well. Doesn't sound like it would. Failed attempts at romance. What do you got?
So about 2 years ago, my boyfriend bought me a teddy bear that said, I love you, and it was super cute. And I was in bed when he got everything set up, and when I had gone downstairs, I don't know what happened, but my cat had puked all over this teddy bear that he had purchased me. He said that it was with love from my cat and from him.
Thank you for the call. We appreciate it.
Yeah, my husband bought me flowers one year for Valentine's Day, and the florist shop called and said, oh, where do you want us to deliver them? And so I told them my address, and they said, what about the other bouquet? I said, the other bouquet. And she goes, yeah, says something here about Toronto, and I'm like, oh, interesting. So, but the best part was he used my credit card to pay for my flowers and his girlfriend's flowers. That's why he used my ex.
Yeah, I would imagine. God, that is ruthless.
So my boyfriend at the time had made reservations months in advance for Valentine's Day at a very nice restaurant. So we got all dressed up and we went there and, you know, got our drinks from the first person that helped us. And then our server came over, and it was actually my, 3-year-long ex-boyfriend.
Oh.
So that was really awkward. So we decided, he took pity on me just because it was just super awkward. And we, cleared up our tab for our drinks, and we left.
Yeah.
He was really upset because he, would make all these big plans and reservations at this nice place. And I was like, you know what? Honestly, we're starting the day together. It's not a big deal. Let's just go find a bar or a lounge or something and have dinner there. It doesn't matter where it is. So we just went down the street to this pub and sat down and, waited for our waitress to come over. And our waitress turned out to be his long-term ex-girlfriend. So at that point, we just went and rented a movie when that was still a thing and went home and hid for the entire evening.
Decided to take my diabetic ex-girlfriend strawberry cupcakes for Valentine's Day. She had told me many times before she didn't like strawberries. So I kind of double failed. Yes, you did. 780-784-7107.
So I used to work at a bar in Vancouver, and after work, I decided I was going to stay and have a drink. What I didn't know is that my ex-husband set up our entire backyard with string lights before it was a thing, and this nice, super romantic, drinks under the lights. It was supposed to be beautiful, all the things. So when I was done work, had my drink at the bar, went out for a cigarette, came back in, finished my drink, I got roofied.
What?
Yeah. So my girlfriend, who was my manager at the time, obviously something was wrong. I was completely incoherent. I couldn't walk. I couldn't talk. I was a complete write-off. So she picked me up, put me in my car, and brought me home. But she couldn't get me to my door because I was just dead weight. So my ex-husband had to come out, and to him it just looked like I was loser drunk.
Right.
But I wasn't. And yeah, so he had spent like 2 hours just setting everything up to be all super nice and romantic, and I got roofied.
Well, I'm glad you at least got home safe.
Oh yeah, no, it was fine, but yeah.
My
so the
goodness.
one time he actually tried to do something nice.
So did he ever make another attempt after that? That was it?
That was it.
0 for 1.
Yeah. All right, you have a good day, man. Tell me I hope she feels better.
Yeah, thanks so much. Appreciate the call.
Okay, bye.
Eric says, I made a path of rose petals and candles leading up to her bed, where I made a heart shape using rose petals and strawberries on top of them. She ended up accidentally kicking the candles, burning a small hole in the carpet. Then when she sat down on the bed, she didn't see that there was a strawberry on the rose petal, and she sat on it, squishing it all over the sheets. Now that I think about it, technically, she failed, not me. What do you got for us?
My husband took me out on our very first date, and we were playing pool. You know, everything was going good, and he decided he'd be a gentleman and light my cigarette for me. Except when he went to light my cigarette, my hair fell into the flame, and being a first date, it's full of every product imaginable.
Right.
So right side of my head goes whoosh, up in flames.
Oh, my God.
Quickly, put it out as fast as I can. And what are you going to do, right? So I'm like, well, okay, let's finish our game and carry on. He's like, please don't tell anybody at your work, because I was supervising at another bar at the time. So I go to work the next day, and the whole right side of my hair is burnt.
Yeah, I don't know how you would avoid telling that story.
Exactly, right? So I had to tell them what happened. He comes in to say hi to me, and the first thing one of my coworkers says to him is, hey, Pyro, and I did it, and I was gone. It was like, oh my gosh. So anyway, sir, I don't know if it's really a failed attempt at romance, because we're married. We have 3 beautiful children. That is how he hooked me.
Amazing. It's a good thing it was Fishbowl Fridays as well at that Boston Pizza, because that's what he used to put out the fire. If doubles would have been on special, he may not have had enough liquid. It sounds like Jamie Lynn Spears is going to be on the Call Her Daddy podcast, which is one of the world's most listened to podcasts, where she's going to vent about her sister and then promote her book. And it just feels really greasy that she would use Brittany's story to gain publicity for herself. But that's a sibling move. So we're asking you about sibling rivalries, or the meanest thing you did to a brother or sister, or they did to you. 780-784-7107.
Me and my sister were in the backyard of a friend's house, and, just typical sibling stuff. We were playing with a piñata bat, and I must have irritated her in some way, shape, or form, because she come at me. I went to go get away from her. I tripped over a deck, fell over a railing, and broke my arm.
Oh, no. Did she hit you after you were down?
Oh, yeah. She tried to jump on me. It was quite painful.
Yeah, I bet. I like that she didn't even give you any slack after you had hurt yourself.
Nope.
True sibling love.
Right?
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate it.
Okay, so my sisters and I had 2 older sisters, and we actually came to Edmonton on a family trip. We're from BC, so it was a big thing to go to West Edmonton Mall.
Yeah. My hometown, all that there was in the mall was the grocery store and the Legion. So West Ed was always a big deal for us, too.
My parents thought it would be a good idea to leave the 3 of us in the amusement park. And my oldest sister had promised to take me on the roller coaster. I was a big roller coaster fan.
Okay.
And she backed out, said she couldn't go because she was wearing a skirt. And I got really upset and, had a little bit of a hissy fit. And I went to storm off, and she grabbed me. She meant to grab me by my back, but actually grabbed me by my hair, whipped me around, and slapped me in the face. And I was so angry. Just retaliation. I was the biggest tomboy. I just punched her in the face. When my parents eventually came and picked us up, I had a red hand on my face, and my sister had a black eye.
Yeah, I bet your parents were mad, too. They're like, you guys can't even get along at a place as joyous as Fantasyland? Pick it up. 780-784-7107. The only one I can really remember that got real ugly was my brother and I got in a swinging goalie stick at each other match. And I don't know if you remember goalie sticks from the 90s, but they weighed as much as a full-grown German Shepherd. The goalie sticks now would still hurt, but These were like Ron Hextall 70-pounders that we were swinging at each other. Like, there might have been a death that day if somebody connected. What's your story?
When I was about 12 years old, my sister was 15. I was sitting on the floor next to the TV watching my show. She comes into the living room and says, "Turn it to this channel." And I said, "No." She was eating. She brought her food into the living room. She said, "Turn it or I'm going to throw my fork at you." And I said, "No, that's cool. I'm good." She whips it at me. The fork gets stuck into my knee. That's how hard she whipped it at me.
That must have forking hurt.
Yeah. That being said, we're like best friends now.
You just have to deal with the flashbacks every time you eat together.
I bring it up all the time. I'm like, "Don't whip that fork at me," right? Like, we go to dinner, or I'll bring it up in a conversation with people, and they're like, "No," and I'm like, "Look at the scar."
Yeah, and I guess the scar would be a pretty obvious tell that you're telling the truth with the 4 prongs.
So they were playing lawn darts back in the day with the real lawn dart, and I wanted to play, but they didn't want to let me join. And I got my hands on a lawn dart, and my one brother decided he would lay hunched over in the ring and tell me that I'm not throwing it. Well, that didn't stop me. I threw that lawn dart, and I stuck right in his head.
What?
Yeah, he had to get stitches in his head.
Oh, no. You know what? I often wondered, like, why would they outlaw lawn darts? Who's actually hurting themselves at these things? But every time, like, sibling rivalry comes up, like today, or weird injuries, there's always a lawn dart story.
Yep. And I tagged him good.
Did he forgive you?
No. He, in the future, pushed me upstairs and broke my chin open. So
okay, that's when he evened the score.
He did, yeah.
What's your name?
Candace.
I was just a little guy. I had a blanket. And what happened was my sister, and I was about 8 or 9 at the time, my sister decided, well, she didn't want to have me have that blanket anymore. She thought I was too old for it. So she put cod liver oil all over it.
What?
So I love that thing. That was like my safety
blanket,
net.
literally.
And I've hated her ever since.
Oh, no. That's aggressive. And to round out this convo, what do you got for us?
The meanest thing that my brother ever did to me when I was younger is I was walking and he was riding his bike. And I said something to him and I got him mad. So he like chased me with his bike and ran over me.
Oh, here's hoping it wasn't a motorbike.
7.
Wishing Lisa a speedy recovery. She tested positive last night. A few mild symptoms at this point, so we're hoping that's as far as it goes. Thank you for all the supportive texts to 780-784-7107. I pretended that I will pass them all on to her, but I'll probably forget, to be honest. So you could just reach out to her directly at the Lisa Evans on Instagram or Twitter. I'm sure she would appreciate friendly messages to, wish her well, recognize her contribution around here, even when she's not here. I've compiled my favorite 2 minutes of Lisa.
Erik Karlsson is getting traded to the Sharks.
Nailed it.
I know what I'm talking about.
Oh, who was he playing for before?
The Ottawa Hurricanes. I can't remember.
Ottawa gets a lot of hurricanes.
Ottawa. Westbound Whitemud Drive at 159th Street. There's a stalled duck. I meant to say truck.
I was just trying to picture, is there a duck skateboarding out there that's just holding his trick?
It's because I was reading Whitemud Drive, like DR, and then I saw truck.
6 stall duck.
That's it. Oh, no. Yeah. No.
Oh,
yeah.
Is there a stalled loon out there too? Toys R Us Canada opening an adult zone full of just your favorite childhood products. If there's no pogo ball that cuts your feet open when you jump on it with bare feet, I'm going to be pissed.
I want to play with a Playboy.
Game Boy, do you mean?
Oh, I meant to say Game Boy.
Okay, so camel milk, you're a no? Would you try it if it was free? And like chilled?
Maybe. I can't decide.
Great answer. Really compelling
I'm so
stuff.
riveting. This is why I have a full-time job here.
Takes a nap, wakes up, maybe. We're asking you an odd skill set you have that, like, maybe it's not helpful at all in your life, but you just know you're good at it. The one-handed clap is a text we got.
What does that mean?
Like you snap it like that.
Ow!
Oh my God.
My wrist!
Ryder and Lisa.
Brought to you by Southtown Hyundai.
Play 107.